Hey, what's going on, everybody? Coach G here. I thought I'd bring you something really important, I think, today. I just got back from visiting my parents a couple hours ago. It's something I try to do it at least twice every other week. I try to do it more like at least once a week, but at least twice a week. And then I got to thinking about something. The average age for people is, I think it's 74 for men and 76 for women. So if your parents are, let's say your parents are 60 years old and the average lifespan is 75, that means you think to yourself you have 15 more years with your parents. But I want you to think about this. If you only visit your parents one time a year, how many times, how many days is that? Is that still 15 more years left with your parents? No, that's only 15 more days with your parents. If you see your parents once a month, that's 180 days that you have left with your parents, not 15 years. If you visit your parents twice a month, that's 330 days in 15 years, not 15 years, days. Once a week, that's 720 days that you get to be with your parents, not 15 years, days. And you probably don't even spend the entire day with them when you go to see them. So now it's not even a full day. So take that away. Now it's hours that you have left with your parents before they pass away. Something to think about. You think in your mind, oh, 15 years, that's a long time. And you don't even think about tomorrow, how quickly 15 years comes along, or even if they make it that 15 years. My parents are 80 and 81, and so they're past the average lifespan of 75. So I could have, today could be it, right? I could have another 10 years, or finally go see them once a year, another 10 years, which would make them 90. But no one's guaranteed tomorrow. So I want you to think about that. You're sitting there thinking, oh, my parents are 60. I got another 10, 15, 20 years with them. That's if you're living with them and you happen to come home every night and see them every day. But if you live apart from your parents, or you live across the country or live in another country, and you only see them once a year, once a month, twice a month, once a week, then those years turn into days, and then those days turn into only hours. So I want you to think about that. Days, years, hours, right? A lot of people take it for granted. Your parents may not be here tomorrow, but in your mind, you're thinking, oh, they're young, 60 years old. I got 10, 20, 30 years left with them. If you're lucky like me and been blessed, you have your parents at 80 like I do. But I know a lot of people that lose their parents at a much, much younger age. And they're the unfortunate ones, right? So don't take for granted the years that you think you have, because tomorrow might not come for any of us. So I thought this was a very, very important message for people to get out, because I try to visit my parents as much as I can. They live 80, 90 miles away, which isn't a lot. I know people say, well, that's not a lot. But when you got jobs and other things going on and life, basically, you try to do your best you can. But when you just neglect it, that's a whole nother thing. When you just completely, don't even think about it, and you go on doing your own thing in life, and not even think about where your parents are, what your parents are doing, or how they're doing. So I'm very grateful and that I still have both of them. because I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of my coworkers, a lot of my managers at work have lost their parents, one of them or both of them. And so hope this helps somebody out there that keep this in mind. Visit your parents more often, talk to them as much as possible, because you don't have that 15, 20, 30 years that you think. You only have days or hours. So think about that. It's not years, because you're not spending the entire year side by side with them, right? So it isn't years that you have. You have days and hours, and then even minutes. So keep that in mind. I know it's hard for some people across the country, across the world, but nothing wrong with a phone call, right? Phone call's better than anything. It's better than not doing anything. So if this helps anybody out there, remember #live or #repeat. Please forward this on to your family members that you think might need to hear this. Love you guys. Coach G is out of here. I think it's a very, very important message to get out. A lot of times people do Facebook lives, and they want to get likes, they want to get all these different things, get friends or whatever, business, but I think this one is very, very important. So don't take it lightly. Pass it on, share it with people, because they may not be here tomorrow. And that'd be a shame if you thought you had more time and you have regrets afterwards. So, love you guys.